Cali, Colombia, allá está haciendo frío, aquí no. A toda la gente, beautiful, de Canadá, you people, I love you forever. Hey, you're from Colombia, hey, bye bye.
And the beat is in the air. Colombia, completely locked in air. Freedom is so strong, yeah, and the lights are shining bright. Colombia, gonna see my love tonight. It's a perfect night for dancing. The ocean breeze is saying, Colombia, I'm a fool and that's the right. Wanna see the world and sail the seven seas. Wanna be free, unveil some mystery. Ancient times have passed me by, that will remain. Hold my eyes under the open sky, but here I guide me to my destination. Sail set high, I passed the key.
Well, we're a little lost again, but I'm sure like 2 days ago we'll find our way there. So just show you this. Where are we here? Okay, right in the middle of the screen basically you'll see these hanging things. I'm gonna zoom in on a couple of them, and that's where it's a bird's nest. It's a hanging bird's nest, which is kind of interesting.
¿Trabajando? Ah, sí. ¿Y allí por el puente no es más fácil, no?
Más lejos.
¿Más lejos todavía?
Aquí, pasito de abajo.
Ah, ok, gracias.
Buenas empanadas, damas y caballeros, ¿cómo estás? Today, hoy, otra aventura, another adventure. I was just dropped off by my personal motorcycle chauffeur, Jose, after a good 45-minute drive from San Vicente de Chucuri. And as you can see, I'm at a kind of a rather dried up river, but today I'm going to Salto de la India, here in the region of San Vicente de Chucuri. And so after getting lost for a few minutes, going down the wrong road a bit, I recognize this from the video, so I know I'm definitely in the right spot. And then he went and asked, okay, which direction? And apparently the waterfall is 15 minutes to the right. And surprisingly, I thought the caverns were all together with the waterfalls, but apparently they're closer to an hour walk up the river this way. So I told Jose to return at 4 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock now. That gives me 6 hours. Hopefully the waterfalls will be here just down this way in 15 minutes, as he said. But remember, we're talking about Colombia time here. Colombia time is always, you usually can double it, but Jose was pretty good last time. So we'll hope for the best. And once I see something interesting, I will be back. About 8 minutes in, it's looking nice here where the water is more accumulated. I hear something down there. I don't know if it's the big waterfall. But is this going to be it? I'm going to presume that it is. Certainly looks like a significant waterfall there. Now the question is, where's the trail to get down to the base? Well, it wasn't terribly hard to find. It's just over to the right. Trail's a little steep, but there are good steps, and this rope right here is very strong and sturdy, so it's no problem unless you have problems with your legs and things like that. So that is not taking long at all to get here. Okay, there's a lot of water. For a small little creek like what you saw when I first started, you wouldn't guess that the water flow would be this good, but that's really good. Probably gonna be a lot of spray though, so it's gonna be a challenge to get forward. So we're here. So that wasn't so bad. It only took about not even 20 minutes to get down to the base, so not much time at all. Got a little bit of a trickle of a waterfall over there. And I better get some shots off right now because at the moment it's bright blue skies for the most part, but everything's in the shade, so I want to take advantage of that while I can. Before the sun moves directly overhead like it does all the time when you're in the country right by the equator. This is kind of out of the spray zone. Give you a full view of this beautiful spot. And there's this interesting indentation where I presume water, at least part of the year, comes flowing down there. That's kind of interesting. Then over here, you've got this narrow area here, so I don't know what that leads to, but I'll explore that a little bit. Definitely a lot more spray over here. Alright, as I said, I need to take some photos quickly, and then I'll explore this little narrows area here. I'll just show you where I took my photo, just the composition, basically right about there. Nothing too terribly exciting, but it's a nice spot. I've got the place to myself again, so I'm loving it. I should mention, while I think of it, right at the bottom there, the last part, that's actually the hardest part. And all that rock all along there, super slippery from all the spray, so I basically did the crab walk using both my hands, arms, and feet. I think that's the safest way to go. As I mentioned, I'm doing some exploring now, and I hear what sounds like the roar of a waterfall. In fact, I think I see it already. So it's basically just around the corner. There is a trail that goes along that little slot canyon area. So I'm presuming this is the really high waterfall that I saw in some videos. But as I mentioned, the sun is way too intense right now, so I'm gonna hope that this is in a shaded area as well. Definitely a little tricky to get here, but there's somewhat of a trail. And that canal down there is pretty cool. Making my way along the channel here. It's quite beautiful. Right now it's all in the shade too, which is a bonus, so hopefully I'll be able to rattle off a couple photos here, but I'm obviously over the waterfall, and it's not the one I was thinking it might be. The other one's way taller, so probably not the route to the base of this waterfall either by the looks of things, but it's a pretty cool spot. So while I'm here, gotta be careful here. As you can see, kind of straddling the top, you don't want to be falling where there's no water. So it looks like there's probably going to be a trail to get down there, and then I'm gonna guess maybe, just maybe, there's another waterfall down there. But let's see this through to the top of the waterfall here. At least it's dry here, but still, got to be careful. Yeah, it's I don't want to go any further. That's too smooth right there. Let's see here. Turn around. Yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it? Looks like a great swimming hole. Looking at this, doesn't it make you just want to get into an inner tube and just go floating down this nice calm canal? But then you go over the waterfall. But you'd probably survive, so I'm guessing it's probably deep enough down there. So this is a real bonus. I've never actually seen anybody in their other videos doing this part here. I would have this would have added to my desire to come here if somebody would have actually done video or taken photos of this spot. So this is really cool. Very nice. As expected, there was a trail. This trail is a little bit more rough, no rope, but it's again not too bad. So I do recognize this waterfall now. As you can see, the light conditions are not great, but in this area things can change pretty quickly. So the best thing to do when you have bad light like this is just to do some exploring, and then hope that by the time you come back to the same area that the conditions have improved. Try and block out the light there with my hand. As I was mentioning as a tip, a little tricky though, and it's not still. Anyway, I'm going to explore further down creek and see if that other waterfall is down there, or if there's something interesting down that way. So far, 10 minutes later, this is the prettiest spot that I've found, but still I don't hear any waterfalls up ahead yet. I don't want to go too far because further I go this way, the more I'm going to eliminate my possibilities for going to the cavernas. Another pretty little spot, but still no waterfall. My waterfall spidey senses are telling me that it's not down here, not down this river. I'm thinking maybe it's more likely that there was another road that went straight across from where I started this morning. I'm thinking maybe it's down that way. So again, I don't want to waste too much time exploring. If I don't find that a waterfall, it's not super spectacular. I'm gonna head back, maybe do a bit of drone footage even though the light kind of sucks. And then I definitely want to check out the cavernas, because caverns can be quite interesting sometimes. Today I'm making the ultimate sacrifice, and I'm just walking in the water with my regular walking shoes, which I actually never do. I have water shoes, but in those water shoes the soles are not very good, so you're constantly, every time you hit rocks like on here, it's kind of hard on the feet when your feet aren't used to it in particular. So like I said, today I'm gonna, in the interest of making better time, I'm just gonna walk through the river with my one and only pair of shoes that I brought on this little mini trip. Thankfully, a little bit of cloud has moved in, so I was able to rattle off a couple extra shots at this area here. But it is time to skedaddle and see if I can find La Cavernas. I have about 3.5 hours. I'm back where I started. It is now 12:30 on the button, and so it takes me 40 minutes if I walk fast. I'm hoping it takes me 40 minutes, and if I do, that'll give me almost 2 hours to do some shooting. But again, I've had the whole place to myself. There's no motorcycles parked here or anybody else, so it looks like I'm going to be solo all day, which is totally fine with me. Uh-oh, we have a little problem. This looks fairly deep, meaning I'd have to swim, and I don't have my main big dry bag, so that is a problem. Now I could hope that I could walk along here and hold everything above my head, which I guess is what I'm gonna have to do. I'll give it a whirl. I made it. Wasn't too bad. Water at the deepest level is up to my waist, and now that I know I can get through there, I'll record it on the way back. It's kind of a nice spot. See a little waterfall up ahead. To be honest, I'm not really even sure what the cavernas are going to look like, even getting a little deeper. When I get there, I'm not sure exactly. Hopefully it'll be obvious. So here we are at the first little cascade. I think that's familiar from one of the videos, but to get further, once again, looks like I'm faced with a bit of a fairly deep pool here. So I think what I'll do is I'll put my backpack down and just wade across the water, and I'm pretty sure I can get up there. I don't know if there's other trails around or to bypass that, or what the deal is. I'm gonna have to explore a little bit. Don't see any trails yet, so it looks like it's gonna be time to go in the water again, check things out. So looking at me, do you have your answer as to how deep it is? Right up to there. So I think what I'm going to do, I have one dry bag, which I don't know if I even trust. So I think I'm gonna bring my camera in the dry bag. The GoPro, doesn't matter if that gets wet. Leave the drone, I'm gonna hide that all here, and then I'll scamper up there and check things out. Because it only took me, I think, 25 minutes to get here, which isn't too bad. So I've got lots of time, so I might as well keep exploring, I guess. So clearly, that was not the start of anything exciting. I've been walking for another 10 minutes, and the creek is just more of the same old thing. So who knows, maybe it is an hour, but I'll keep walking, hope for the best. So is this the start of La Caverna? I have no idea, but it's really, really nice here. So whether it is or isn't, I'm going to take lots of photos. But I can tell you that up until this point, all the scenery along the river is really boring and nothing to look at whatsoever. I finally arrived at my destination after 45 minutes of walking. We'll see you soon. Bright light, but beautiful spot nonetheless. Another beautiful pool. At least this spot here is a little more shootable, with the sun going a little bit more off to the side there. Multicolored rocks, oranges and greens. Very nice. Another nice little swimming pool. I've been saving this word for when I really mean it. And unfortunately, again, it's very bright. It's hard for you to tell, but this is a stunning spot right here. And I don't have the luxury of waiting around for the sun to go down much more. This is the, well, tail end actually of the most beautiful spot in this, whatever it is, cavern, I don't know. I don't see any caverns, but very nice through here. So it is now the following day. As you can see, I'm dressed a little bit differently. So let me tell you what happened after I left off yesterday. So I had to really hustle to get back to meet Jose with his motorcycle, my personal motorcycle chauffeur. And I knew he'd be on time at 4 o'clock, and he was. And I literally got there with not a minute to spare. And he was waiting for me. So the first thing he asked me was, how was the cavernas? Did you find them? I said, I don't think I did. And then he explained that I went the wrong way. I went the way he told me to go, but that was the wrong way. So I went up the river, And the place that I was at, I thought might be it, was not it, but it was a beautiful spot. And so apparently the cavernas were straight ahead across the river. I think I showed you there is, if you cross the river, there's a road, a dirt road. So I think it's up that way. Anyway, I'm not upset because I looked later on to see exactly what the cavernas look like. It was nothing too spectacular, so I think I might have found a nicer spot. So just to give you the details, oh, by the way, it's really hard to find a quiet road. I'm at the end of the road here. This is right by a cemetery. Oh, we have a little visitor coming. Want to say hello? Hola, come here. Hola, aren't you a sweet looking little doggy? Good boy. So let me give you the lowdown on going to Salto de la India. First of all, it's probably about 12 kilometers total of traveling time each way. And I paid 40,000 pesos, 40,000 pesos, which is about only $13 Canadian, 10-ish US. So, you know, it was almost 2 hours of his time, some gas, a little bit of wear and tear on his motorcycle. So that's, again, you can't complain about that. What else? The countryside between San Vicente de Chucuri and where we went was really beautiful, up in the mountains, really nice temperature. And the thing that I really love about, one of the things I love about Colombia is that all along the road there is fruit trees all over the place with cacao and naranjas, oranges, growing all over the place, corn. There's crops basically all along the entire road, which is the way the whole world should be in my opinion. But anyway, that's another story. So what else can I think of? It took me 10 minutes to get to the first top of the waterfall, another 5 minutes to get down to the base of Salto de la India, and then there's that really cool canal, and it dropped into another waterfall, the second waterfall, and that only took another 10 minutes to get to. There was another waterfall somewhere, I'm still not quite clear where it was, but it's a really, really tall, straight down waterfall. Again, I'm not too upset that I didn't find it. Who knows, maybe sometime in the future. But anyway, all in all, it was a really enjoyable day. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And hopefully you can come visit some of these places near San Vicente de Chucuri someday. And until next time, remember, there is no you in Colombia, but hopefully you can come and visit this beautiful country and slightly crazy sometimes country someday. And until next time, hasta los tacos. Ciao.